Good morning, sports fans. Here in the cheap seats out of Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Open 7 days a week. Phone 735-1212 or go online to jakesfurnishings.com. WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Josh Comnick along with the furniture guy. Of course, cold outside, but always warm here at the at Jake's Furnishings, right, Jake?
That's because we got the hot deals there, Josh.
Always hot deals out here at Jake's Furnishings. Coach Alexander joining us, as always, every Saturday morning, but the bad part, this will be the last one for the 2011-2012 season as the Railers fall last night to MacArthur 45-35 in the regional championship. Coach, thanks again for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Coach Al, you're going as our stat guru, the voice of the Railers, Jeff Benjamin, had going for the 52nd regional championship in school history. And as for you, in 21 years, you were going for your 15th. Quite a run, and it just came up short last night.
Well, you know that we executed our game plan, but you still have to make shots, and you know you got to put the ball in the basket. And early on, we had some opportunities, and we let Decatur hang around. And when you do that with a home team on their in the regional championship, it only takes them to hit one or two shots, and then they start falling pretty easy for them. And they got a little bit warm there in the second half and forced us into some turnovers. And it's really hard to come back when you get to, and we're not a high-power, quick-scoring offense either.
Yeah, Coach, and coming in, you played Tuesday, 70-46 winner against Bloomington. Maybe one of the better games, especially in the first half. The Railers really in control. I'm saying midway through the first quarter, that game was about over. You saw Bloomington pretty much crumble up and go hide as the Railers went on to a big win. You guys were there Wednesday night to take a look at MacArthur. What were some of the things coming in that you thought you did well on Tuesday? And that you had to do against MacArthur to come out on top, because they were a little bit similar in Bloomington and MacArthur.
Well, what our game plan was to find Allen and Bartley. They really played well and had been scoring for them and everything. And our guys done a great job of doing that. They found them. I don't think Bartley hit a field goal.
No.
And Allen, I think, might have hit one, and then then they have someone else step up, and Anderson stepped up last night and hit, there in the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter. I think he hit maybe 3 threes, and we lost track of him, and that's all it took at that point when you're playing a really tight basketball game.
Coach, after 5-3, MacArthur was winning, and we go on a pretty good run in the second quarter, one that I thought was really going to propel us to a W. At halftime, we were up 16-12, but it was that you talked about it in the post game last night. You weren't comfortable with the halftime lead. They got 2 opportunities late in the second quarter to get a bucket and a foul. They got 2 of them. One, I think they made a 3-point play. The other one, they missed the free throw. And they had the momentum as we were in really control. I would guess besides those putbacks in those last 2 plays, we're looking at probably a 16-5 game, 16-6 game, and where we're obviously a little more in control.
Well, that, and also I thought we didn't rebound the ball very well the first half and gave them a lot of second and third opportunities. And they made some plays there even in the first quarter, right at the game started, where we would get the rebound and we would lose it real quick. And you got to make plays in a regional championship and be able to go down. But this group here was a very young group, and they learned. The second half we were much more aggressive with the ball, so I think from how the game was played the first half, the kids learned a little bit, and they were much more aggressive. But MacArthur's got a good basketball team, and the Anderson kid has been up and down. He's been in and out of the lineup. I think he's served some suspensions and things, and all of a sudden, he comes back and helps them to a win.
Yeah, just ironically, right at the right time, he was back into the lineup. But Coach, again, we'll go through some of the stats. Last night, the Railers 11 of 18 from 2-point land for 61%, 2 of 18 from 3. It really was a tale. The Railers couldn't find, I think the 2 3-pointers came in the fourth quarter, both by Christian Van Hook. 7-11 from the free throw line. We had 17 total rebounds, 7 assists, 10 turnovers. Christian Van Hook led the way with 18 points. He was 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 18 again, 4 rebounds. Really after that, you had Max Cook with 6. He also had 4 rebounds, 6 for Jordan Gessner, but it was just couldn't get a big shot to go down. The threes weren't falling. Max got into the lane late in the fourth quarter and missed a layup that he usually converts on. But even in the first half, it even excelled into the second half, where it just looked like MacArthur was a step quicker than us.
Well, yeah, and I think even on a given day, any day, they're going to be a step quicker. But, they were much more aggressive last night. And, I don't know if that team there has the quickness and the toughness to go up against Lanphier. But
no, be a 30-point game.
Okay. Lanphier's pretty good, but...
Yeah.
It would be interesting, but I don't know if their style will allow them to play with Lanphier, I guess is what I'm saying, because, they like to play very similar to them, and you get Lanphier into a game where you're up and down the floor, that's not good.
No, they got way too many guys, and Coach was talking about Lanphier was victorious last night, so they'll be playing in the sectional out at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. MacArthur shoots 10 of 18 from two-point land, 4 of 13 from 3, and they hit their free throws down the stretch, hit some big ones. 13 of 18 from the line for 72%. They out-rebounded the Railers 32-17. 8 assists, 14 turnovers for MacArthur. And, Coach, a lot of those turnovers were early in the first quarter. I thought they did an excellent job in the second half of handling the ball and getting. I didn't think they had hardly any good looks in the first half. And, of course, Anderson getting hot in the second. They played just a really good game. You got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, they did. And one of the things that, we feared going in was that, if this team got ahead of you, that they were good enough and well coached, that they would spread the floor on us, and that's exactly what they do. And that's where Anderson, I believe, got loose, because his strength is dribble penetration. And the games that we had seen him play, he hadn't hit any shots from outside. It was all on the dribble drive, and we were surprised when he hit them. But a lot of those were created when they had their lead and they got the floor spread to where he could operate a little bit.
Railers finished 16-16 overall. MacArthur runs into Lanphier on Wednesday night, I believe, here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium. They're 10-16 overall. Reggie Anderson led them with 17 points. And Coach, just going through the game now in our heads, and I'm sure you went over quite a bit last night too. The Railers just couldn't get into that flow. We've seen where we've had games like this, but at least for me, like the last month and a half, the Railers have been really consistent. We've played good basketball. Sure, we've had some losses, but we've played really good teams. Were you afraid of coming back to a game like this, where we saw some of these games in the first part of the year, but the problem was we had one of those games, and it was in the regional championship.
Yeah, and this group here, has had some inconsistency, but like you said, the last 6 weeks, I thought they were very consistent on how they were playing, especially at the defensive end. But when it becomes a possession by possession, and it really got down to it last night, that every possession was very important, and when you're not hitting your shots, it really puts more stress on your defense. And then, like I said earlier, they extended the court there and spread it, and that's when they're real effective.
16-12 was the score at half, and really after that, Coach, the first 3 minutes, you've talked about it for as long as I can remember. Those minutes are usually the ones that you can extend that lead that we had at half to 10-12, or you can let them right back into it, and that's when MacArthur took advantage of the game, outscoring us in the second half, 33-19. I think they went on a 12-0 run at one time. They took advantage of what we gave them, and some missed opportunities for the Railers, especially from the shooting.
Yeah, and we didn't have as many good looks last night as we did against Bloomington, but we couldn't get into the penetration inside to be able to kick. And I thought, Tuesday night, we done a nice job getting into the paint, deep into the paint, and being able to kick out, and our shooters were right on the three-point arc. And again, last night I thought we had to step back and shoot them a little deeper than normal, and the percentages really drop once you go from 20 feet to 21 to 23 feet, and they done a nice job with their defense.
Coach, talk about that defense a little bit. First half, really, they play that matchup, which I don't care what level of basketball you're playing. That's a tough defense to play against college, whether it be high school or college. And then in the second half, they switched to a man, and you had talked about it in the post game where you told the guys that you're going to have to be able to adjust because they'll throw many different looks at you, and it really bothered us last night.
Well, there's a couple ways you can play, and we play where we're going to take one defense and play it the best that we possibly can, and our kids do a nice job of it. Or you can be I call it a junk defense, where you're going to change defenses, surprise the offense, and maybe get a turnover here and there, or you're going to just keep switching until you find something that you use that works. And they basically did that last night. I thought we got comfortable in their running our zone offense, and then boy, they went to the 2-2-1 full court, and then they dropped back into a man-to-man and really denied and got up into us. And you have to be able to get to the basket and make layups, and then you got to be able to hit your shots from the perimeter, or what happens. Yeah,
that was the name of it. Really through, I'm going to say about 12 minutes to 14 minutes in the game, we handled the ball really well in those last few possessions in the second quarter, and then leading into the third quarter and fourth quarter, we had a few more turnovers than we did early on, and that's really what led MacArthur to a run and to a lead. And once they got it, they did a great job of getting to the basket, hitting some big shots, and kind of icing it away with some big free throws down the stretch. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be out here at Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Open 7 days a week. Phone 735-1212 or go online to jakesfurnishings.com. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Back out here at Jake's Furnishings, located at 1100 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Open 7 days a week. Phone 735-1212 or go online to jakesfurnishings.com. Cheap Seats, Josh Komnick, along with the furniture guy, Jake Johnson. And head coach out at Lincoln Community High School, Coach Neil Alexander, going over the game from last night, Coach. And it's not obviously the way you wanted to end it, especially being your 21st year. You've got some 5 seniors that we played their last game in a regular uniform, but it's you talked about it last night, Coach. We've seen teams that you've had, obviously with great records. This team really improved, I thought, after Christmas, when we kind of figured out that I think maybe early on we thought we could score with a lot of teams, and this team, I think, figured out that, hey, if we're going to win and put W's in the column, that we better start playing some defense. And I thought, as much as any team you've had for a while, this team really improved.
From start to finish, the improvement that they made might be the most of any team that we've had. And again, it's a credit to our kids that worked hard. And when you lose, it's easy to sit back and just not do anything. But these kids had a lot of pride, and they really worked hard. And our senior leadership, they done a great job. It's always sad to see a year end, and I'm very fortunate with the job that I do, that I get to work with a lot of great kids, and it really makes for my job to be easy, but yet hard, because those kids are all very good kids. And when you start determining playing time and things like that, you're sitting back and, hey, this kid, this one, and it's not an easy job, but it's very rewarding, and it's an honor to be able to work with the kids that we have come through Lincoln. And one of the things it is you spend from November to March, and then you spend most of the summertime, most of June with them, and they become part of your family. And again, it's something that those 4 years are very short, and you can't go back and get them in life. And it's just it's really a sad day today when you know that there's 5 of those kids that are going to be moving on. But one of the things that, you know, I take pride in, and I think our coaching staff takes pride in, is that we try to make them understand what hard work is, and hopefully the things that they learn on the basketball court will translate over to their lives and finding a job and being successful and how to compete, because it's an ugly world out there. And if you don't have that bite that you want to go out and really work for something, it's going to be a struggle for you. So I really take pride in trying to get our kids to understand that hard work gets you places. Being a good person is one of the most important ingredients that I feel is for a person to be successful. And I've always told them, as long as you're a good person and you do the right thing and you respect people, you got a great chance to be successful.
Well, Coach, there's no doubt they'll miss it. Shoot, my buddies and I still sit around and talk about old games and practices and times when we were in peaking at the holiday tournament in the hotel room playing pranks or whatever. I mean, it's just it doesn't get much better than being a basketball player out at one of the programs that you've helped build, and these 5 seniors will undoubtedly do the same as they've been a part of some very successful teams. They've had fun. A lot of these guys aren't going to have the chance to play basketball as far as for another school or college, and you know, they couldn't ask for a better place to do it here than Lincoln.
Yeah, I think it's really hard for kids to move on and play because of the atmosphere and the support that we have in our community. And a lot of these guys move on to college, and you know, they're used to having 1,500, 2,000 people in the stands, and then you go back and you go to college and you're looking at maybe 200 people in the stands, and you know, that's when you find out that you're really playing a game because you love the game.
Right.
And you know, it's really easy to play here and get fired up to play every night because of the support. And you know, it's a great place to be, and you know, I hope there's a few more years.
Well, Coach, as you said last night, and Jeff kind of alluded to it, where you don't have much time anymore. This game is a time where you're playing almost 12 months a year. If you want to improve, guys have to work in the off season, and you do a lot in the summer. We saw some weight. I saw out of some guys some differences out of the weight room that maybe we haven't seen in years past, and this is definitely a team coming up that we saw freshmen, sophomores, juniors that are going to be a varsity player next year that have the ability. Now they've got to, one, get improved because everybody else improves also, but two, also improve in the strength factor, becoming a better athlete, honing their skills during the summer. This next couple of years could be very exciting for the Railers coming up as we see a lot of talent, size. I think really when I look back at the sophomore, freshman level and the juniors, we're going to have every component of a team that you need. If we can get, I think our biggest thing will be a low post score. If we can find one of those, Coach, we might have it all in a couple of years.
Well, that's a big point. We've got to have somebody that can score on the block and be consistent to where, you know, when you get to 2 to 3 feet, your percentages are a lot better than 20 feet. So you need to be able to have a combination of an inside-outside game. And, you know, just face it, Christian's more of a face-up perimeter type player, and you know, we just was lacking that the last year or two of having a down on the block post player. But I've seen, you know, we've got a new weight room. Coach Greg has basically he's in charge of the weight room. You know, back when I played, we didn't even have a weight room. You know, we had nothing.
Bales of straw.
That's what we did. You know, in the summertime, you baled hay, and you know, and that was our weightlifting. But now it's got so intense in the weight room, and this is the first year that we've actually lifted twice a week for the whole season. And you know, we've also installed athletic PE hours in our PE program, where we have all those kids. I have out of the 16 varsity kids, 14 of them are in early bird, so they're going to continue to lift and get themselves stronger. And you know, along with trying to, well, we're going to develop. Somebody's got to be able to get down on the block and score for us. And I know we have bodies, and I think we have thicker bodies, and I think we have more people that are suited for a post-up type player. So I hope that we can, well, we're going to spend time at it, and that's one of the areas that we want to improve in. And you know, it should be an interesting year. Like, the important thing is you know, we have point guards, and I think that you must have point guards that can handle the ball, handle the pressure. They're going to get bigger, and you know, when you get stronger and more maturity, you're going to get a little quicker. So hopefully we'll be able to handle things like happened to us last night, the pressure and things. But for as young as we were this year, you know, there was a lot of young teams out there.
Sure.
It's just not Lincoln that's got all the young players. It's in the whole area that has very young players. MacArthur's a very young team. So it's something that those young guys are, what's going to happen is the teams that are successful in a year or two are the ones that are really going to get into it and work and develop their skills more, become more, much more stronger, you know, to be able to compete.
Yeah, and I think you've definitely got the guys coming up to do it. So it'll be another exciting year. You've got summer right around the corner. I'm sure you're heading to camps and leagues and games and lifting and all that kind of stuff. So heading into your 22nd year, it'll be fun again.
Well, it'll be here before you know it. We were just talking, and you know, you start the year out, you got football, and then you got football's one of the quickest sports there is.
Yeah.
I mean, once the season starts, it just bang, 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 and it's over. And you know, once football starts, basketball's real quick. Basketball helps you get through the winter. It takes care of the second and third quarters of the school year.
Yep.
And now then we're getting close to, it's unbelievable that we're getting close to 9 weeks left in the school year. And you know, that's what just is so unreal. And you know, once you start, you get to the spring sports, you know, you're starting to look at summer already, and before you know it, summer's gone and you're right back into football. So it'll be here before you know it, and you know, we've got a lot of work to do, but that's what's exciting about it.
Yep, Coach. Well, thanks for coming in all season from 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. We want to thank you for coming in every Saturday and giving us another great, exciting year, and we'll look forward to another one next year.
Well, thank you, and on behalf of the players and the coaching staff, we want to thank our fans for the support once again. And I know the 16-16 year is a little disappointing, but to us and the coaching staff, these kids gave us everything they had, and I think from the support that we had from our community, I think you know, they love their Railers, and you know, they'll be back next year. Our kids will be back, and for me, the 5 seniors or 6 seniors, you know, with Zach Lee, you know, I wish them the best of luck, and we all know, or I feel very confident that they'll be very, very successful in whatever they choose to do in life.
Sounds good, Coach. Thanks as always, and we'll get you back in here maybe over the summer to see what the Railers are doing during the summer months to get a little better, getting ready for the next season. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back here out at Jake's Furnishings, WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.